everybody and welcome to Fitness Reloaded. I am your hostess Maria Berlaki and today we are going to be discussing weight loss over 50 and specifically during and after menopause. What they tell you versus what the truth is. The problem is that there's a lot of misinformation out there about what women over 50 can or cannot do during menopause, and a lot of people who try to take advantage of them by selling supplements or selling them the myth that they can't lose weight or something like that. And I do not want you to fall prey to that. And I also want you to know exactly what it takes to live your best life following menopause. And that has a lot to do with your exercise patterns. And I find that most advice regarding exercise is too generic and people are kind of unclear about what they really need to be doing. So I want you to not be that person. I want you to live your best life. So without delaying further, let me get started with the first claim. And the first claim is that weight gain during menopause is inevitable. That is simply not true. In fact, there are actually many women out there who don't gain any weight during menopause, or even if they do, it's a very small amount. For example, in this study of 97 women, over a 5-year period during their menopause, they gained a grand total of half a kilo, which is almost a pound, a little bit more. And that is it. That's over 5 years on average. That's what they gained. It's not like, oh, I'm going to go through menopause and I'm going to gain weight. Or if you have gained weight, oh, I gained weight because I went through menopause and that's what menopause does. No. If you did gain weight, do not be so quick to blame menopause because there is something else going on and you need to discover what that is. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Can't lose weight because of hormones. That is also not true. So here's what happens during menopause that can affect your ability to lose weight. And one big thing is that your sleep might be interrupted. Now, interrupted sleep or not sleeping enough during the night at any age, not just over 50, okay? At any age is more likely to increase your appetite the day after, make you not feel that you're satiated by your meals as much, and increase your likelihood of sporadic snacking. And it can very easily add 200-300 calories on the next day when your sleep during the night is interrupted, because that's what not sleeping enough does to you. Now, if menopause has made you for some reason sleep worse at night, then definitely that is something that can affect your appetite, can affect your snacking patterns. So that is something for you to look at. Am I sleeping like I used to? Has my sleep changed? Can I do something to improve my sleep? Okay, so yeah, it's related to menopause, but it's not like some hormonal thing that's making things change in your metabolism. The other thing that's happening during menopause, and it doesn't just happen during menopause, it happens generally as we age as well, is that women lose muscle mass and they gain fat mass. So in other words, their body composition changes. Their fat levels will go up, while their muscle is going to go down. So overall, they might be weighing the same, but they're going to have more fat and less muscle. So they're going to be more jiggly and have less strength. Now that is something we do not want. And so I'm going to focus on that a lot. And it is something that affects your metabolism, meaning muscle burns more calories than fat. So if you are losing muscle mass but are gaining fat mass, your metabolism is going down. So unless you eat less or move more, you're going to be gaining weight. Now, whether that happens and to what degree depends on your lifestyle. So not all women will experience this the same. In fact, women who increase their activity levels and women who increase their resistance training will not have that effect. And if they do, it's gonna be very, very, very minimal. That's why I'm filming this video, because I do not want you to be afraid of menopause, because if you take the right steps, you can have bumps and shields against what menopause can do to you. And it's not just menopause, it's aging in general, because people, as they age, they lose muscle mass, okay, and they gain fat. But the majority of that does not have to do with aging. The big majority of that has to do with less activity, meaning as we get older, we move less, we walk less, okay? That step count is going down. And we are not strength training properly, so we're losing muscle. But if you were to strength train properly, you wouldn't be losing muscle. Maybe you would be building muscle. So you wouldn't have that decrease in metabolism. So that's what's going on with can't lose weight. If you can't lose weight, it has more to do with your activity and your strength training, and a lot less to do with hormones and estrogen going down. That said, estrogen decreasing as you go through menopause will create an increase in visceral fat. Now, the visceral fat is fat around your midsection. Even women who never used to store fat in their bellies and always used to store it in their hips, after menopause, any fat, our bodies create a preference into storing fat around our midsection, not around our hips. That's just what happens as estrogen goes down. But whether your body is going to be storing fat depends on calories in, calories out. Meaning, for you to increase your fat mass, you will have to be consuming more calories than your body needs for maintenance. That will make your body store those extra calories into fat cells, and the new preferred location is around your midsection. Here's the thing, if your activity level goes down and if your muscle mass is decreasing, the equation of calories in, calories out changes. So now, because your metabolism is lower, you're gonna be needing fewer calories to maintain your body weight. So that will mean you will have to eat less, which is not a great way to live. Ideally, you wouldn't be needing to eat less. And that moves us to the next one, which is strength training. You might have heard about how important strength training is for women, especially over 50, especially during menopause, because of the decrease in muscle mass and also the decrease in bone density. Both of these are being helped by strength training. So with this video, I really want to emphasize how important it is for you to properly strength train. Not just, I'm gonna be going to my yoga class or my Pilates class twice a week. Because many people are like, go to a group class. Do something. And many women do that and they feel like they're putting a check mark next to strength training. But that is actually not accurate, because what you want to is to build muscle. That will not just happen by attending group classes. There are specific things you need to do to build muscle. Yes, with classes you will get some improvement, but that improvement is nowhere near the improvement you could be getting if you were to do methodical strength training. Like in this study of postmenopausal women, those women performed 16 weeks of focused resistance training 3 times a week, where the load was increased week after week. And in those 16 weeks, they experienced 6.7% reduction in body fat percentage, which is amazing. And something like 40% increase in their leg press and over 20% increase in their bench press. You will not get those results unless you're on a focused resistance training program. So I want to focus today in what you should be doing from a resistance training standpoint if you want to decrease the effect of aging, because it's less about menopause and it's more about aging. Stop thinking that menopause is this thing and after you cross that line, now you can't lose weight. It's simply not true. But if your activity is less, losing muscle mass year after year because you're not exercising properly, then that's what's going to happen and you will end up having to eat like a bird. So here's what you want to do to strength train properly. First of all, if you want to strength train properly, you have to go lift weights. Yes, you can do significant progress through machines, so I'm not against machines, but ideally you will be lifting weights. Now, if you're like, I'm going to lift weights, or no, I'd rather go to my classes. No, do not think you're going to get equal results if you just go to classes. Classes can be great and they can help you maintain and they can help you give you some improvement, but you will not get the results you need to really increase your muscle mass. If you want to get serious about your muscle mass, then you need to go lift some weights. Now, if you're thinking, but I'm going to end up looking like a bodybuilder, this is like me telling you, how about you start running 3 times a week? And you're like, but that's going to make me like an Olympic athlete who competes in running. Nope. If you want to become a bodybuilder, exercising 3 times a week is not enough. You have to follow specific guidelines and specific practices to get to that level, okay? Just exercising will not cut it. For example, look at me. Do I look like a bodybuilder? And yet, I have been doing strength training for many years already. I'm not in my 50s, I'm in my 30s. I can lift over 130 pounds deadlift and over 300 pounds hip thrust. And I'm nowhere near looking like a bodybuilder. So if that's what you're thinking, just cross it out. It will not happen. It doesn't work like this. It's not that easy to become a professional runner, just like it's not easy to become a bodybuilder. The next thing you want to do is you want to get a workout log, okay? You can get one of those from Amazon, or maybe you can download an app, but it's very important for you to write down what exercise you're doing, how many reps, and what weight you're lifting. Because the goal is to do what is known as progressive overload. Progressive overload, that means that every time you go exercise, you want to increase something. Whether you do one more rep, or whether you go ahead and lift more weight, both of these are fine. So for instance, let's say you're doing bench press. The first time you do bench press, you do 10-pound dumbbell on each arm. And maybe you can only do 12 reps. And then after 12 reps, you're like, I can't, nothing. Maybe next time you can do 13 reps. Or maybe next time, instead of lifting the 10-pound weights, maybe you can lift the 12-pound dumbbells. You see my point? The goal is to keep increasing. So I want you to do this in a methodical manner. So write down the exercises you're doing, have a program for you to exercise 2-3 times a week, ideally 3, okay? With your you have a solid full body exercise program, and then every week track your performance and try to improve. This is what those women did, and they experienced almost 7% in reduction in body fat, which is crazy. That's like going from, let's say, 30% to 23%. That's amazing. I cannot even believe it. They achieved that in just 16 weeks, okay, 4 months of strength training. These are the gains that could be available to you if you were to take strength training seriously. So if you're not already doing that, if you think that going for a walk is going to be enough and you're checking the exercise box because you're walking is great. You should keep doing it because it helps increase your activity level. It has a bazillion benefits for you, but when it comes to muscle mass, you need more. So don't tell yourself that the walking is enough. You do need more. And if you're doing like a lot of yoga and Pilates, that is also great. You still need to do your strength training. That's just how it works. Okay, so you're gonna do your 3 workouts a week where you lift weights and you're gonna go to your Pilates class. That's how it's gonna work. And this is how you're gonna get the best results for your body. This is how your muscle mass will not go down, it will actually increase and you will get in better shape after menopause. Who wants to get in better shape after menopause? I want to get in better shape after menopause. Why not? You can do it. You've seen those women where, they're older women and suddenly they get in amazing shape. And again, you don't have to go become a bodybuilder. That's like a whole new set of things that you have to do. But you can do better. And if you have defeatist thinking like weight gain is inevitable or I can't lose weight because of my hormones and menopause, this is just not true, okay? Take care of your sleep. Do your strength training, very important. Try to keep your activity level high. So if you're sedentary, increase by 5,000 steps. Use that as your first goal, okay? That within the next, let's say, 2 months, you will be gradually increasing your steps to increase your activity level, and then you can move on from there and start strength training. Go to a gym or do it at home. You can do either one of those options, but do it properly and track your workouts and practice progressive overload. Don't follow those other people who say, oh, you do a little bit of strength training. I was looking at this video. She was like, yeah, strength training is important. Do a little bit of strength training. You need to focus on strength training, really focus on strength training. Now, what about nutrition? Many people are like, okay, what should I be eating? Here's the thing, you keep your activity level high, and if you increase your muscle mass, you will not be experiencing the, oh, weight loss is so difficult after 50 effect. So same rules apply. High fiber diet, ideally also high protein diet, especially as you age because of that muscle mass that we don't want to lose. So high fiber, high protein diet is the best. So lots of vegetables, legumes, fat-free yogurt, really good for you. Other sources of protein like salmon that also has the omega-3s. Overall, the advice that we've all heard that is good for you. It was good for you in your 20s, it was good for you in your 30s, it's still really good for you in your 50s. Now, if you're not sure how to put this all together, because I know it can be a lot. Oh, I need to make changes to my nutrition. Oh, I need to start exercising. I need to increase my activity level. How do I put this all together in a way that doesn't make me feel overwhelmed, where I feel like every week I can progress and I can make these changes part of my lifestyle? Then please come to Fitness Reloaded and start up your free trial. Please come join us. And I will help you create a plan that makes sense for you and your lifestyle so you can make good progress, so that you do not need to fear menopause. You don't need to have those myths in your head that, oh, now that you're older, you can't lose weight. You know, again, this happens mostly because of lower activity levels and less muscle. And that is something you can fix. And I can also help you put a nutrition plan together that helps you feel at your best so that your fiber is high and your protein is high, and you give your body its best shot to build that muscle and help you live a long, healthy life towards your 60s, your 70s, your 80s, and beyond. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notifications button so you catch my next video next weekend, usually on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.